Hello everyone, I am Gangadhar, a BIM manager. This is the next tutorial on YouTube. Please support my channel. Share, comment and subscribe. Thanks for watching. In this video, we are continue learning about Revit. Today's topic is all about views. We are going to learn about managing views in Revit 2022. This lesson that we are going to discuss describes how to manage the different views displayed in our project browser and changes their properties. Views are essential elements of a project. They gather all the information related to a specific part of a building model and represent it as required. So the changes made to the properties of one view do not affect the changes made to the properties of another view. Take a note of that. However, if you change the view model in a particular view, the changes are visible in all the associated views as well. Take a note of that. Now, what is views? Views is actually provide a unique feature of our building. You use views to display the building model from different directions and references. At the moment, my view is in 3D view. If you have a look at the project browser and on my drawing area, drawing title at here in 3D and here is in the properties, view name also 3D. Right now I am in a 3D model. This is one example of view. Another example of view is your floor plan. As you see on the screen, if I double click the level 2 lighting plan, this is our floor plan, and also we have call out of section, and then we have elevation view here, we have drafting view. That is also another example of view. You can also display a plan view as underlaid in another plan view to highlight the relationship between components on different levels. When you start the project, depending on the template that you will be using, certain views are created as default. You can edit the properties of these views and create new views as required. You can navigate within a view using your mouse wheel, steering wheel, or the view cube. One good thing about Revit is capability of bidirectional associativity. When you say bidirectional associativity, it ensures that the changes made in one view when it comes to the model are going to select this mechanical equipment here. If I am going to delete this as a selected on the screen, definitely this will be deleted as well as in your 3D view, in your plan view, in your section view, even in your schedule. It is applied to every component of this bidirectional of associativity. Every component view and annotation of a building model. Another example, a change made to air terminal. For example, in the plan view, in the mechanical plan view, is reflected in all associated views such as elevation or 3D. While select, for example, if I select this air terminal here as is selected in the screen, if I modify these changes that I made here in this floor plan view for the air terminal, it will be reflected as well to other views such as elevation view, section view, or 3D view. Now I am going to the next thing that I am going to show you is options for duplicating views. Like what I have said, this whole topic that we are going to talk about at this time is about managing your view, and one of the way to manage your view is to duplicate your view. With duplicate views, you can use different settings for views that displays the same portion of a building model. How to duplicate, let's say for example, for this one, I'm just going to zoom in like this. This is, as you can see, as I'm zooming in this level 2 HVAC project plan, it shows here the annotation as well as aside from that 3D model, the elements. You also have here the annotation or the tags. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you one way of duplicating your view. So to duplicate your view, all you have to do is to right click the view that you want to duplicate. Just right click that, and then after that there is an option here, duplicate view. We have several options here in duplicating your view. One is duplicate, the second one is duplicate with detailing, the other one is duplicate as a dependent. The first one is duplicate, so I'm going to select this, and this is now the duplicate view. I'm going to right click this, and then I'm going to rename. Then let's say I'm going to call this as duplicate. That is the option that we have used for this duplicate. What is duplicate? Duplicate obviously creates a view. This is the copy of our primary view. A duplicate view displays model elements but not annotation elements from the original view, such as you can see. If I am going to zoom in here, notice that there is no annotation here because the option that I used to duplicate the original view is duplicate. Remember, a duplicate view displays model elements but not annotation elements from the original view. Let us right click again our reference view, and then let's select here, this time duplicate with the detailing. Obviously that is what it is. It duplicates not only the model elements but it also includes the annotation. If I am going to zoom in your view, you will see here the annotation, the text, it is also duplicated. And now we will go ahead to rename the view with duplicate with the detailing. Enter now for this 3 views that we have here. For the original view, the duplicate and the duplicate with detailing. Any changes that we made on the properties here, it will only affect the current view. Any changes on the view properties, not the model elements, but I am talking about the view properties. Any changes on the view properties, we only affect the current view. It will not affect the other view. It will not affect the original view. When you change the view properties, it will only affect your current view. Like for example, the level 2 HVAC plan. Let's say I am going to go ahead here on the view control bar. I am going to change the scale. For example, I want to change the scale of this one to 1:50. If I am going to select here the duplicate, notice that this is not affected. For you to be able to zoom extend, you can just press the middle button twice quickly, just like that, or you can right click and zoom it to fit. And then, like what I have said, you see it's not affected. When you change the scale of the view, the duplicate view is not affected, as well as the duplicate with detailing. If I double click this, as you can see, it is not. The third option is duplicate as dependents. Let's say, for example, I am going to rename this one to, I'm going to right click, then I'm going to rename this. Let's say I'm going to call this level 2 HVAC plan north. What I'm going to do is, as I'm going to right click this, right click, and then duplicate. Now I'm going to go ahead and select the third option, duplicate as dependent. Now I am going to rename. I'm going to rename it with level 2 HVAC plan south, as you see on the screen. So this is my south view. So as you see, it's my south and this is my north view. So what is duplicate as dependent? Duplicate as dependent is, it creates a view that inherits view properties and view specific elements from the primary view. In the dependent view, you only show a specific area of the window. You can insert match line, which is I am going to show you later on, to indicate where the view is split, and view references to link views. So this option helps you to create views that shows portions of a plan. When the entire plan is too large to fit on a drawing paper or drawing sheet, I want to show only this portion. I will be going here on my view control bar. Remember that this portion is view control bar, and then I am going to turn on the crop region. It will turn on now. The crop region, this is the crop region which is going to turn on. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to click this and resize it by clicking that dash line. To adjust the crop region, this crop region is being controlled by this, the crop view. So currently the crop view is activated. If I'm going to click this, notice that there will going to be an X mark there, red X mark. So meaning it is turned off. You will notice that although the crop region is turned on, notice that some of the annotation here are not being cuffed because annotation crop view here on the properties is disabled. If I am going to check this one, the annotation that is outside the annotation crop will be hidden in our view. So check this out. If I am going to check this, notice that the annotation here disappeared, because if I am going to click the crop region, you will see here, or I mean the dash line. So this dash line is our annotation crop, meaning to say any annotation outside of this annotation crop will disappear. If you activate your annotation crop, if I am going to uncheck this one, the annotation will show again. But if I am going to click this on the annotation, this annotation crop and outside annotation crop will disappear. Now that I have set up my north I do not want to see the crop region, so I am going to hide the crop region. Still, the crop view is activated, so I am not going to turn off that. I am just going to turn off the crop region. This is my map. I am going to go ahead and open up my level 2 HVAC plan. Out, so click, and then same procedure. The annotation crop is already turned on. Let me just turn off first the crop view. Let me just turn off that. I can move the annotation crop likely easily. That's the south. Once I set up the annotation crop, I am now going to crop the region, crop the view. Click that one, and if you see any annotation outside and you do not want those annotation, you just need to check the annotation crop here, which is in my case it is already checked, so I am not going to hide the crop region. It is now hide. As you can see, I now have to here the north and my south view. What is the difference of dependent view from the normal duplicate and duplicate with details? So the difference is that any changes that you made on the view properties of your parent view and then the dependent view, it will affect each other. Like for example, the south here. So as you see on the screen, if I change the scale, to 1:100, the scale changed to 1:100. Unlike the duplicate here and then duplicate with the detailing where their properties in independent to every floor. So when it comes to dependent view and its parent view, their properties applies to each other. Like for example, if I change the scale, like I changed here the visual style to shaded view, if I go to the dependent view, double click that, you will notice that it also updated. Basically, those are the 3 type of duplication or 3 options for duplicating your view. Hopefully you got these 3 options. Hopefully you learned something from this video. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.